Ain't nobody worried about your bottom bitch ass mama. And I don't give a damn about her.
There we go. Ain't nobody worried about your bottom bitch ass mama. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Get that going. Go live there. While I wait for. Welcome to TikTok. While I wait for the everything to get live over there. And get the station popping. Got that popping. Sound check, sound check. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Sound check. I get a sound check going. Ooga. 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 I I forget the idea. Boom, 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 boom. Greetings, salutations. How the hell are you doing? Let's see. Can I do that on multi-stream too? Let's see. Testing, testing, testing. I'm testing. Here's a minute. All right. Testing, testing. Sound check, sound check. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, goodbye. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. Greetings, salutations, and all those things associated with how the hell are you? Welcome. I am back for the second night in a row, and I am right on time. So we're back. Not me singing that part before you. Yeah. So we are back. We're back. Second night in a row, back from our Deep South tour. And the chief of security has stumbled into the building. It's on like popcorn. Let's see. Where I want to put this at. I'm trying to figure out how do I want to sit. Um, yeah, this way or this way. So that means I have to move over here. Yeah, okay. We'll sit here for a while. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of sitting. Sound on YouTube is good. Good. I'm home. So Jay home tonight. We ain't got to worry about him getting home tonight. Yeah, Jay is home. Yeah. What are all of y'all up to? Greetings and salutations. It's, it's your favorite revolutionary TNathan, and this is Conversations with TNathan. Thank you. Thank you for joining. And we are in the house. Where's Bella? Somewhere behind me. Somewhere. Somewhere behind me. Let's see. I told you. I told you. She is. That is her bed. I don't know why people don't hunt. That is her bed. Yeah, that is her bed. Yeah. Yeah, I just sleep in here sometimes. That's her bed. All right. Greetings and salutations. I couldn't see her. Yeah. She's not far. She'll be there. Then she'll be down on the floor. Yeah. So how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing tonight? Hope you all are safe. Um, yeah. What is the operational definition of how not to get along with bullies? Anybody know? Anybody understand that the only way to handle a bully is to bust them in their shit? Or am I just the only one? Am I the only one? Because this is wild. This is wild. And I had an opportunity. I don't know if y'all saw the video. And I'm going to say this because we're going to go into some of the footage. You're going to get to see a little of the footage that's going to be in a documentary that we're putting together on Mound Bayou. A lot of documentaries I was a part of that were taking place at Selma, right? It was fun. it was fun getting in people's shots and people recognizing and wanting to, put you in the shot that they were framing for. So as I get the information on those, I will be giving them out also. But it was refreshing. But I got a chance, and I think I just touched on this last night. I got a chance to speak with men and women that were there on the Edmund Pettus Bridge and at the foot of the Edmund Pettus Bridge laid out by Sheriff Clark's and his men and state troopers. And I got a chance to talk to them because one of the things I wanted to talk to them about was, did they regret anything they did? And if they had to do it all over again, would they? That was the question. And of course, you know the answers to those questions. Those would shoot. I realized that that's the generation that would have benefited from someone like me saying, yes, we're going to do this, but we're also going to march and burn down something, right? And it was humbling and honoring to know that some of them followed me. I was like, this lady crying. They said, I follow you. I was like, yeah, I was humbled. I was honored. And not only that, but in the questions, like I told you, I could see celebrities anytime, any day. That's not, but to see those foot soldiers there that had been doing the work since they were teenagers, 60 years ago, that they were on that bridge, and then to know that they were committed to that same thing, because and they're so lucid, um, they're so passionate still. And I was talking to them. And I was asking them about the current situation in climate. I asked them about would they be sitting, do they think they have done enough work that if under the current administration they should sit this out? None of them told me that they would sit out. None of them. None of them told me that even now, after everything, that they would sit this out. And that's how you know you're on the right track, right? And then, because we talk about it, like I said, in you see the young lady, the queen crying on me. She follows me too, and she was like, "We need more people like you." Humbled when they told me they were passing me the torch, I said, "Don't. I'll start a fire. I will start a fire." Right? It was just so humbling to know that based on those who have done the work. I'm not talking about people that I never see anywhere. All these people who's talking about they're sitting out and I have never seen them anywhere. And you know me, you see, I get around the country. I am everywhere. On when I was on probation or not, I was around the country, not telling anybody, but I showed up. I don't see any of these people who say they're sitting out ever stepping in. They wasn't stepping in. Your videos of Mount Bayou are very interesting. Looking forward to hearing how the town survived. The town survived physically because they were willing to do they were willing to shoot people that came into town. Yeah. Mound Bayou, they had to be. That's why it still exists today. Like I say, they have the financial hardship and all that, but they exist today because they were willing to shoot people, and they were not willing, and they wouldn't allow you to come in and burn their town down. Yes, they were willing to do that, and that's how they are built differently. And you're going to hear that. We're going to talk about that. You'll see it in the clip I'm going to show you tonight of my conversation there at the museum in Mount Bayou. And you won't, the difference is in this museum, in this setting, I wasn't censored and told that I couldn't narrate. So, yeah, it's a conversation. It's a conversation where you're going to see my ideas and how a lot of people don't realize that I can do this off the top of my head. And that's why I like conversations like this, because you get to see me go toe to toe with people and I might have slightly different views or how I can say where their views fall short and how we can make them complete. So you'll get to see that for yourself, and if y'all have any questions, y'all can answer them during the course of the video. But like I say, it was just so refreshing to see that I would rather have those 60, those 70 and 80-year-old foot soldiers by my side today to know that they have um, declared that I was worthy of passing a torch to just to for them to have to tell me we're passing the torch to you, and to be worthy of that torch, man. Like I say, humbling, honoring. Um, I would trade all these people who are not doing anything, and they were so knowledgeable of the current situation. They were so knowledgeable of it, but they were also understood because I talked about when I told them that left up to my devices, I would end this march after we honored them, and then I would take those 12,000 people and march over to the golf course, and then we would have we have something else to talk about 60 years from now, but they were willing. They were like, yeah, we've been trying to do that. And then I realized what they were lacking is that too many people around them are sitting everything out. And they are trying to say, we never sat out. We didn't just come to one bridge marching. We were at the first one, we were at the second one, and we marched 50 miles to Montgomery. We want so right. Greetings, salutations, Siren. So to hear people talk about sitting things out and they're not into it, I don't give a fuck. I'm really at that point now where if the next person that tells me that, someone told me that online. While, if you saw the video, while I was there on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, streaming live and talking and giving people an update, when I wasn't doing other things like pulling security against the media, when I tell you, hold on, them telling you to be quiet piss me off. What's up, Jay? I see you. Good sound over on YouTube. But man, that was humbling and honoring, and also lets you know that you were on the right track when you talk. So I cuss. I had to step away from. If you notice that in the video, I'm on the same line at first, but I stepped away from where Maxine, and I still didn't see Jesse. Jesse, they snuck Jesse in on me. They snuck Jesse in on me while I was away. Right. My hub said he saw you on one of the news lives that popped up for him. Yeah, I was. Yeah, Rain. I was on several. I did. It's an interview. I forgot the young lady's name, but she's a follower too, and she interviewed me. So I'm on several news lives across the country that either got me while I was in the crowd or got me at the courthouse, just different places. Because, like I say, I was everywhere. I was everywhere, talking and taking in what the elders had to say, and then trying to find a way to navigate it forward. So yeah, I was you can't miss it. Big red beard, tall guy. That was me. That's me. Like I said, it's gonna be a lot of documentaries. The Irish guy followed me around for a little while. That was from Ireland. There, could he followed me around a little while. So there are gonna be all kinds of documentaries that you're gonna be like, hey, I know him. And one of the guys that was filming the documentary is the same guy that filmed the documentary that took him 5 years to film about the fight to get the Mississippi state flag changed. I saw him also, gave him a little conversation, but it was good seeing him because I hadn't seen him in years. But he did documentary when we were getting the Mississippi state flag changed. There was a lot of red throughout the day. What kind of hard to pinpoint? Was kind of hard to pinpoint you. Yeah. So that happened. But like I say, we're going to get into this conversation that I had at Mound Bayou, and it's unedited. This is going to be an unedited video. So, um, but you do get to hear me, and you do get to hear the conversation that I had, uninterrupted, unbroken, as we walked around. I think it's unedited and unbroken. And I just say that because this is from the my nephew who was filming all of this. So I think it's uninterrupted. Let's see. And I don't think I cuss much. I don't think I cuss much. Let's
Up.
what
That's
you
what I
think.
want. Well, I want to tell you this part.
Yeah.
Because this is probably going to go a different way than you're thinking right
Yeah,
now.
that's fine.
When we were growing up, we would hear here and there from the elders
Right.
that
Just for analysis, this is Herman Johnson. He's the curator at this museum. He's 6 foot tall. 6 foot. He said he was 6'1" or something like that. Just give you a perspective. He said he's 6'1", and his brother's going to come in also.
Coca-Cola was founded in Mount Bayou, right? And so like Coca-Cola founded in Mount Bayou. We just hear that, right? And so it didn't mean a whole lot, you know. Wow, it's just like a wow. And we did have a bottling
portion?
company at the beginning of Mount Bayou. And then we're also here, and he talks about that up there, that we know that we had a bakery here in Mount Bayou, and in that bakery, he says, Mount Bayou used to smell so good. Well, in that bakery, we know that Wonder Bread was founded in the bakery.
Really? I did not know that.
Well, and Booker T. Washington wrote that.
Booker T. Washington wrote about that. If you go read his book, he writes about that. In I.T. Montgomery's book, they write about that in 100 years ago, about Wonder Bread being founded here. We don't get that credit. Now, since we've had the museum, that statement about Coca-Cola being founded here, we kind of like reevaluated. We're looking at it and saying, you know, the people that came from the plantation south of Vicksburg, after the Civil War and during Reconstruction and during all those times, they were right there in Vicksburg. A lot of the people came out of the plantation, went to Vicksburg, and some of them became business owners and things like that.
Right.
And Coca-Cola, now we don't have evidence, we don't have proof or nothing. I don't have no paperwork or stuff. And so they founded Coca-Cola down there. If you look in the history books or you look in, Google says it's right there in Vicksburg. When have we known white people to find something that black people, I mean, they discover something that black people have already found it. So
They were drinking Coke. That's the bottom line. They were drinking Coke down there. Somebody say, I found Coke.
I found Coke.
Yeah,
But black folks
Just like I found America, right?
Exactly.
To get the people already here,
Exactly.
right?
But you know, we were brought up saying, they were telling us, Mount Bayou, Coke was founded
they
by
know
our
what they were
folks in
talking
Mount
about.
Bayou.
Yeah.
And so you put all that together, I figure actually our people started it down there.
Right.
And it was taken commercially from there.
Right.
But it was our people.
Right.
And they came up here and did a bottling company here, but they didn't know Coca-Cola was going to be what it is in
Today.
2025.
Right.
Yeah.
They knew what it was back then. It was
Right.
just a soft drink.
Right.
See the overall thing about this museum. The Bible says, you'll know the truth, and that truth will make you free.
Right.
The problem is that people have been trying to stomp out the truth.
Right.
And so black history has not been told. So a lot of people that are here in America and black with a mission from God don't know that God had called them to be eagles, and they were trying to tell us that we are chickens.
I like that.
So the bottom line is for us to show them through this museum how their subconscious, it was a strategy to change their powerful mind so that they can think that they chickens. But they know that every time they flap their wings, they are eagles.
Fly.
They can fly. They think high.
They
operate high. And that's what happened on the on that plantation, that the people that came to Mount Bayou, they ended up owning the plantation.
Right.
Bought it at the tune of $9 million today.
Today. What, $300,000 back
I think
$300,000.
$300,000.
inflation to $9 million.
To $9 million today.
Actually, more than
That was powerful.
Yeah.
For them to take it away from them and for them to keep on rolling.
And then
And they
outwork
come.
them.
Huh?
Outwork them.
Of course.
Outwork them.
Outwork them, produce more than they did. Everybody in Warren County outworked them and
Not
outdid.
only outworked them, not only produced better, but created the most premium cotton in the whole world.
Yeah.
And they were on an annual basis judging. So you had to go this world place here, and they go take the
Cincinnati
cotton
and St. Louis.
all these places.
Expositions.
They judging them.
Right.
Again, Mount Bayou has top cotton in the world. So we set the price on cotton. So what it says about African Americans, not people of Mount Bayou, but African Americans, God sent them with a special calling to come here. And if we
It's very important for y'all to pay attention to the beginning of this conversation, right?
Do you know who you are?
Very
Who
important.
you
Really
really
are.
are?
Yeah.
If we really find out that we are not the chickens, but we are the eagles.
And if we can stop the chickens from trying to keep the eagles from flying, maybe
Exactly.
that would help too.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
And so I thought you were going to go along the line when you were saying that.
So, Cam,
um,
notice
saying
the mark of a
black
good,
people are not just learning
true
our history
intellectual
at this
is
time.
to listen.
So what we've done is we created a name for the museums of this day, because now we're discovering what we're discovering.
Right.
Our history's been buried, and so we're going to call museums now exposeums
That
that
tell the story.
expose the
Expose
truth.
the truth.
The truth has been
Museum
hidden.
meaning truth. Right.
So we're going to expose or exposes.
Right.
Museum. Now we're going to tell the story the way it's supposed to be told.
And of course, you know, I am a former mayor here.
You are.
I'm former mayor.
Okay.
Also, one of the vice presidents of the World Conference of Mayors, and one of the founding members of Historic Black Towns and Settlements Alliance. We are actively establishing and helping establish museums in each one of these African American communities.
Okay.
Hobson City, Alabama, the oldest in Alabama. Eatonville, Florida. We were just at the
Norsville
Zoraville Hurston Festival. There in Eatonville, Florida. They have a museum there, and Tuskegee, of course, and then Grambling, Louisiana.
Okay.
And there is a museum there at Grambling, but we want to see a museum there that tells us the African American history and the story. People are hungry for the reality of the history of the African American. And we have blacks and whites that have come in here because it's a soothing something that comes over you once you know the real truth.
Right.
When you're fed lies all the time, somebody have told you a lie that this is your daddy, this is your dad, this is and it's not your daddy.
Right.
There's an uneasiness that you're gonna have, and it acts out in all type of ways.
Right.
But once you learn the real truth, that's what we want to do with this museum, is show the real truth, and then show them how people can change your mind before you know it. You can take a kid that see all of these denigrating pieces that we've shown here, and for 20 years show them those denigrating pieces about black people. They'll wonder why, when they want to befriend a black person, that they just can't do it. And because in their subconscious, that black person is sub to them. And even in a black person, when they see all of these things, negative about them, it's going to be hard for them to think
Right.
that they are who really God has called them to be. So these are the types of things that we want to be able to show in this museum. Why not Mount Bayou?
Right.
Why not one of the oldest African American communities? One of the ones that was successful, has been successful. And actually we gave out really the powerful life that we had of entrepreneurship and everything else. We gave that up.
Yeah.
So that people would be able to be free to go in where they wanted to go. They used to come just here, spend their money here, turn the dollar over here. I mean, we were able to show people how the black dollar could be spent.
Right.
But once the world opened up to black people, they left Mount Bayou.
Right. See, and that's one of my problems, like
Not
with black
even.
communities. One of my problems with integration and black communities, when certain people fled, because you take the lifeblood out of your community.
Right.
Then you're left with just decay. And
Right.
when we were chasing, like you could take up 49, start on the coast, for instance. And one of the things after integration is that certain people, black people, fled in hopes of being accepted.
Right.
And they kept chasing them all over. And
Just hold on.
You know, the communities died in
Right.
49,
Right.
starting from the coast. I don't know if you know who Henry Beck is on the coast, but my grandfather owned a club, and he was very instrumental in helping poll taxes. This was the time poll taxes, and they paid poll taxes for people to get them to vote when we were guessing how many damn jelly beans went in the jar. But that's what my my point. We had the Chitlin Circuit. We were self-sufficient. We had theaters. We had, you had banks here. You had the hospital, right? But that's why I said there was no plan.
What's up, Katrina?
That was my problem. There was no plan.
Exactly.
We thought integration was it.
Right.
Assimilation.
Hold on just a minute, you all. Greetings and salutations, niece. This is my niece, Katrina, and don't y'all go follow her or I will beat you up. But yeah, if you know, you know. Mods, y'all make sure nobody gives my niece a hard time. And if you do, escort them out. What's up, Katrina? Thanks for joining us. Hey, I didn't get to see you all on my trip to Mississippi. That's Marguerite's sister that I have to call by their grown-up names now because they're grown. When you used to she carry them, you have to remember. But anyway, welcome, Katrina. Thank you. Portia, you got it. I wish I would. I wish a motherfucker would. Y'all know what family. All right, back to the video. But did you all hear me when I am challenging terrain? Like you said, I listen. I listen because I have to make sure how to approach these situations, and you will see that how I challenge it. And just for corrective measure, I think in 1887, $300,000 was about $10 million, and adjusted for inflation for today. So the equivalent of $10 million in 1887 is what they purchased just the land for to build what is today Mount Biden. All right.
The word you
Play with somebody safe
we
now.
thought assimilation
Yeah.
was the answer.
Yeah. We were trying to kick the door down,
Right.
but we didn't know what to do after the
Right,
door was
because
open.
when Dr. King told Harry Belafonte, I feel like I've integrated my people into a burning house.
Right.
We shouldn't have become firefighters.
Right.
We should have got some s'mores
Right.
and some sticks
Right.
and
Right.
some marshmallows
Exactly.
and let it burn.
Yeah.
Because only that way could we talk about equality and equity, which is more important than equality because we're not equal to, I'm 57 years old. We're not the same. And part of it, like you say, you get to that mentality where you have to, your museum is about exposing the truth. Well, let's talk about all of the truth. Though.
Right.
Let's just not talk about the truth that makes people comfortable.
Right.
Let's talk about the truths that we show on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Because Jesse Owens showed out in Germany
Yeah.
in the Olympics,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
1936.
Yeah.
He showed them that your dream of superiority is just a delusion. And that's the truth. That's the fear that we face.
The fear is there.
Yeah, because I'm from the school of Fred Hampton, right? I'm a revolutionary. See, I understand and I know and I get it. But if we also have to teach that power has never conceded anything except to power. And the education we give, we're going to have to accept that it comes with a certain responsibility to not just sit back and wait either. We have to understand liberation is not going to come calling on us. We're going to have to kick in the doors, like you said.
Exactly.
Right? And we have to get to that point by educating. Because you got to know what weapons and tools you have to build an effective community. Because let's be realistic. Your community here was great. I mean, I know before the 1942, before the hospital came, I know the trade. I know about all the black intellectuals that came here, right? And it was self-contained. But the problem is that outside of here, there are millions of us.
Exactly. Exactly.
And while we can save spots, the diaspora is suffering because we're not. Sometimes we turn internal too much. We become, even in our revolution, we become bougie. We become the kind that say, we got ours. And we might mean our community. But if we're not speaking from the sense of how, because look at Seneca, look at Oscarville, look at the Greenwood District Center. They were burned to the ground by racists. Let's be real. Because we couldn't physically defend them. It's never a problem that we can't create. Like you said, we can look at the cotton gin, we can look at Coca-Cola, we can look at what is the whiskey company in Tennessee.
Jack.
Yeah.
Something
That the formula for their whiskey
Jack
was
Daniels.
created by a black founder.
Black. Okay.
Right? It's not a point that we can't create. Our problem is that we need to be able to protect, defend, and also have a great opposition to it. We don't need to just get defense. We need to be on the offensive also, because, like you said, in this day and age, you're a politician, my political science, and you're a politician.
I'm a poli-sci major,
Yeah, me too.
but I just don't want to put myself in line with saying.
Yeah, I call you a you're a statesman. Okay,
I'm a pastor.
That's even more dangerous. So you get to that point, right, where you know the power of words, then,
Yeah,
and how we use them,
yeah,
and what they create in the mind.
yeah.
So we must make sure we use the
Actually, our
proper
mind
words.
creates the words.
Well, but your mind creates the words.
Yeah.
Wordsmiths' minds create the words. But the impressionable take those words with the intent that we created them. Mm-hmm. And we must give them these created words of inspiration and truth and power. And to say, like you say, you are not a chicken.
By no means.
You're not a chicken.
Not a chicken.
You are an eagle, and you were meant to rise up on those wings and fly.
Exactly.
And it's one thing to pay lip service to it, but see, I live flying. I don't lay eggs on the ground. I live flying. So you can look up and I can say, hey, that's a chicken. I am you. Now you can stay down there with the chickens, but I'm not coming down, because that's how we got captured the first time, by coming down. So yes, the beauty of our intellect is that it's always been there. But when we deal with an enslaved people, we can't not acknowledge the effect of oppression on their mind. Right. See, my grandmother immigrated. She came to this country in 1920 from Ghana.
Ghana, okay.
So it was different for her. You know, she married a Mississippi man, of course.
Okay.
Had some big children. But you understand that she came without the same constraints that black people in America that have been here since 1619 have had to endure. And therefore, it's like one of the things I noticed when I was in Mississippi when I left is that there's a certain mentality. Like I say, you talk about mountain bike. I can tell when I meet people from cities like this across the world, right? Because you walk differently. You talk differently. You hold your head up when you speak. But most of Mississippi is not like that. I went with the Poor People's Campaign with Dr.
That's what happened here.
Yeah.
This is what happened to them.
Yeah.
Right.
And we just want to expose this,
Right.
to let them know this is what happened to
This
you.
is what happened to you.
See, here.
Do y'all get pushback as I do?
What do you mean?
I get pushback.
No,
because
let me just show you.
We talk about that very
This-
thing
This
here.
is what we want to expand this whole thing. See all this way it says African,
Yeah,
African,
Right.
American.
right.
You see what's up on the American?
Yeah.
The shackles.
Shackle.
So after they bring these highly respectable
Because we weren't slaves.
world
enslaved.
creating intellectual people into a land that they did not know, I have to then show them a lie.
Right.
So I have to interpret to them who they are, who I want them to be,
Right.
so they can believe not who they really are.
Right.
So from Africa to America, I got to now create this dialogue.
Right.
So now that's why you have all of these things to show you that you are not who you really are.
Right.
So that up here, the two little babies, that's a postcard.
Right. Like lynching postcards. Yeah.
That postcard says, it's supposed to say Christmas. Greetings from Dixie. On the other side, guess what it says? The niggas are doing good where I am. What about yours? And that was supposed to be an entertaining postcard.
Right.
So their mindset changed. The kids were being brought
Y'all
up.
see them arms?
The older people were being brought up saying, you know, it gets to the point where the little kid walk up to me and say,
I see them arms.
"Tell."
I was in the military. I went to the military, right? And I was pulling guard duty with a group because the next flight they get ahead, and
Yeah,
when
yeah,
the new
okay.
flight comes in,
Okay.
you're really. So it was a little white guy, and I found out afterwards he was from Tennessee, and he watched. I was pulling guard duty and walking, and he watched me walk all night long. And I was like, hey, you might want to get some sleep, right? Because you're gonna have a hard day tomorrow. And he shocked that I spoke to him, right? And I said, why are you up? What's wrong? And he said, is it true? I said, what's true? My grandfather told me that black people, you want to say what, had tails, right? Now, I was young. The first thing that came to my mind, right? But I took the opportunity and I said, tails. I said, yeah, I have a tail, but it's not what you think, right? And he talked, he dialogued. But it was like, goes back to that mentality that is ingrained in them. Because he was from the Tennessee mountains, didn't have any interaction with black people except the ones he saw on television.
Exactly.
And the ones that his grandfather told him about. He had created black people in his mind. He didn't have the reality
Right.
of black people.
And that's what.
Right.
What did you just say?
Yeah.
People created black people.
And that's why I say about the words.
This is what this is all
Right.
about.
Right. So you're deconstructing the creation of blackness that is not encompassing of who we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
So
I
you
just-
have to do this. You have to.
Right.
You have to have slavery. You have to talk about the little black kids, and you have all of these terrible things that happen over the years. The Punch Bowl.
Right.
There's so many thousands of people that were killed because of somebody's mindset.
Right.
The hangings in Mississippi, the terrible things that the Ku Klux Klan did to people and got away with.
Right.
All of those things were justified, and the way that they did it, they sold it into the church and justified it within the church.
Thank you,
And
Olivia.
took scriptures to verify
Right. Slaves obey your earthly masters.
that exactly what we're doing is what God wants us to do.
Right.
So that's when this news lady can come and say, well, Jesus is certainly white.
Right. And Santa Claus.
And
too.
Santa Claus is white.
Right.
So in her mindset, the reality is not real.
Right.
But in her mindset, she has an argument.
Yeah. With herself. Well, yeah, she does.
But it's an argument.
Right. It is.
But it was created in her subconscious.
Right.
And so the truth will absolutely set her free.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree with the truth will set her free because she chooses now to embrace that truth
Exactly.
in such a manner that to decolonize herself of that thought would shatter her image of her whiteness and her place in a society that it was designed by them for them.
But they are bound.
They're-
That's the bottom line.
they're bound.
Is she's bound by what she believes.
Right,
So she's
exactly.
stuck. She
She's
is
stuck.
now a slave.
Right.
Anybody that believes a lie becomes a slave.
When you build on a foundation that is not solid.
So did y'all get that?
Everything
Did you
build
all
on that
get
foundation
So
what
would
I
say
said?
to crumble?
If I set her, if she really want to be free,
She doesn't.
I say, but if she does,
Uh-huh.
then she would have to know the truth,
Right.
the real truth,
Right.
and the real truth will set her free. She may not want that freedom.
Right. That's that. She might not want free. I'll give her either. But she, and that's the thing I say because I think I'm gonna tell you I am a revolutionary. I don't know the words to Kumbaya because I understand the 400 just the 400 years. I'm just talking about the 400 years. I ain't gonna go, but I understand the 400 years of cosplaying in your ignorance for your benefit. Because if there was no benefit, we wouldn't have this problem.
Right.
But you have created a society now that, like, and going back to Laura. So, Laura Ingram. So, yes, in her mind, she has built her foundation in a way that is not sustainable when it comes to face with the truth.
Exactly.
But she sustains it
what do you want? Can I replay? I'm gonna post this on. This is like I say, this is part of the documentary you all be seeing, but I will post this part also on YouTube, in case you missed anything, or we'll catch up on it. Like I say, I'm gonna answer questions after this is over.
Even in the face of the truth, because she's seen the truth. She has seen the truth. She has seen when she sees a sister her age that is built like a Coke bottle and still doing the thing. She has seen the truth when she's having her fourth facelift. She sees the truth, but she denies that truth because to internalize it would cause you to know that you're not superior. And they can't deal with that.
They can't deal
You
with
can't deal with it because it's a lie.
Right.
You're not superior.
Yeah.
And the thing that Darryl told me a few weeks ago, one thing he said is stuck. He says, once you start a lie, once you create a lie, you got to always lie to
And
protect
for
that
400
first lie.
years,
You
they've
cannot
been
go
telling
back.
that
You
lie.
cannot never tell the truth about it. You got to always continue to lie.
So who are the slaves? They are slaves
They are slaves
to their lie.
to their lie.
That's
But they,
exactly
but
right.
They benefited from it because they
Financially.
still keep their foot. Derek Bell wrote a book called Faces at the Bottom of the Well, right?
Derek Bell.
Derek Bell.
Okay.
And he talks about how if it was just about money, poor white people wouldn't be racist. But they need somebody to look down on. The face at the bottom of the well has to be black.
That's right.
And they will do everything in their power and serve. I got into I don't get into debates. I cuss. And I the guy said, "Can we have an intellectual argument?" I said, "No, we can't, because only one of us has an intellect." Because you want to perpetuate a toxicity that is not true. That if I allow you to spew it on my platform with 1 million people, somebody's going to take root in. And that's not what we're going to do. We're going to acknowledge the fact that your ancestors lynched my ancestors. I don't want to hear you came from Germany. I don't want to hear you came from Dutch. I don't want to hear any of that. Because you live in a society, you live in a system where because of the color of your skin, you benefit. See, you want to talk about we got HBCUs, but without talking about why we had to create HBCUs.
Exactly.
You want to talk about we have a Miss Black America without talking about why we had to have a Miss Black America.
That's exactly right.
You want to talk about all these things that we have that we're barely holding on to under the present administration, if we want to be that we have without acknowledging why we have them.
The only reason that we had to have them.
Right.
Because we were not the United States.
We have never
We were
been
not
the United
one
States.
nation under God,
Right.
indivisible.
With liberty
With
and justice.
liberty and justice for all.
Right.
If we were what was supposed to have been practiced, what did begin to be practiced in Mount Bayou in the early 1900s,
Right.
where the sun was shining in this one place and the darkness was everywhere
Everywhere
else. If we'd have done that, we would have been the most powerfulest engine of a country in this whole world.
Right.
The intent was for us to be a body, to be able to love each other and not hate each other, for us to find our position and to be able to take our position and to be able to help somebody else in their weakness. Let me just show you this. I asked this white guy, he asked me this question the other day about me explaining this very thing.
We're about to get it.
I said, hold both hands out. He said, okay. I said, both of these are your hands, right? He said, yes. I said, but what if a mosquito goes over to this hand
Right.
and bites it? I said, what you gonna do? He said, I'm gonna go over here and do. I said, well, what about that hand? I said, it's not strong anymore, is it? He said, no. I said, that could be white America. I said, God made them white. I said, but white America could not get that mosquito off of him. What about this other hand, black America? He goes over there and takes it, pull the mosquito off, and then rub them down.
Right.
Then both of them can be a powerful hand to the body.
Right.
My point is that if we learn how to work together. That's what I want to see from this museum, because we keep flunking the tests.
Now, you all remember that analogy, right? Y'all remember that. Y'all remember it. Now let me show you what to do with it.
We had a test when Emmett Till was killed
Right.
to bring our justice to a racist place and take a stand. Mississippi and the country flunked the test.
Funked it.
Not only did they flunk it, but our federal people tried to persecute the very boy and his family that died
Right.
by digging up stuff on his dead daddy.
Right.
It was our senators
Senator,
in Mississippi.
right.
So not only did they flunk the test, they should have been put out of school. But every test that's flunked is going to be taken again. And if we don't learn from our past,
And we taking it now.
we taking the
it now.
same
But let me
test
tell you,
again.
let me
This
ask you,
we
brothers.
taking this test
Let me
big
ask you,
time right
brothers,
now.
right? Because I am a revolutionary. I hear you. I hear your analogy, right?
Okay.
But see, the thing about
I'm a preacher, man.
I know, and I love it. And the thing about it is, these are two white hands. See,
I like you.
This
I like you. Go ahead.
these are two white hands.
Come on, you finna lay this
These
out.
are two white hands.
Okay,
So when the mosquito landed over here,
Uh-huh.
he hit it with his own hand.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
See, what could have happened? Now hold your hands out. Let's show you something. I'm gonna be.
Okay.
Damn, I gotta be the white guy. Okay, I'm gonna be the white guy.
Be the white guy.
Be the white guy, right?
Okay.
See, he was quick to slap the mosquito
Uh-huh.
and disperse it.
Okay.
Now you the black guy. I want you to take it without injuring me. The mosquito's about to land. It's landed right there.
Uh-huh.
What would you do? How would you handle a situation?
I'll wait for you.
See, I'm gonna stab myself. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blame you for the harm.
Yeah, okay.
See?
Okay.
I'm gonna blame you for the harm.
Okay.
My white hand is
Okay.
hitting my other
Okay.
white hand.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm uncomfortable.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna blame you for the harm.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You know, like El Hajj Malik Shabazz says.
And why would they blame us for the harm? Why are they blaming us for the harm that they caused themselves?
It is not. You are not helping or curing a problem when you are responsible for stabbing me in the back
Yeah.
with a 9-inch knife.
Right.
It's not processed because you took it out 6 inches. It's not processed. It's not progress when you take it all the way out. Because you're not addressing the wound you caused.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm bleeding out
Yeah.
because of the wound you caused.
Right.
And now you want to scream about equality.
Yeah.
I need some Band-Aid and some stitches.
Yeah.
And I need some restitution for the wound you caused.
Yeah.
So we can talk about unity all we want to, but we cannot talk about the respect of equity. Because it's always unifying when you were saying you got a 400-year head start in the race. Now all of a sudden you want to be equal to where you are. But what about the fact that you only are over there because of the work we have done to put you there? And now you don't want to accept any responsibility
No whatsoever.
for addressing the fact that in this country,
Yeah.
there's a $112,000 wealth gap between white families and black
Well, you
families
just come to Mississippi.
that they own.
You just come to Mississippi. See that?
Exactly.
I mean, look at it. I see guys all the time. You know, these guys, they can't run anything, but they rich.
Right.
They rich not because of anything that they
They've
did.
done. They're rich off our backs.
They were rich because their daddy and their
Yeah, right.
granddaddy
And
had all of that.
and want us to always forget our history, but your history is built on top of us.
They get mad at you if you worked for your riches and now
Right.
you're richer than them.
And they would get real mad at me if I put on a shiesty and came into their house and took everything they owned because it wasn't theirs. And I'm just using that as an example, right?
Right.
Because
You see, the revolutionary slipped out.
what is going to happen
How come
is
and take
you can only
it?
oppress a people for so long. You could only oppress. It's like pushing down on something that's building up pressure. your pressure to push down has to exceed the pressure that builds up. And you're not capable
What's up, Mama Love?
of that pressure internally. So we have spent 400 years telling them, hey, better men than me, because I'm a revolutionary, better men than me have come along, like yourself, and said, hey, you know, we need to loosen up some of this pressure on us, right? Because it won't be good for you when we explode. See, I tell people, they always talk about what's wrong with the black community. Nothing's wrong with the black community except y'all believing something's wrong with the black community. Because boiling water responds to heat. If you take the heat away, the water will stop boiling. So what you're doing is you're applying heat, and then you blaming the water for boiling. But when that pot blow up, it's gonna put all that fire out. See, you all tried to do this on the basis of equality, right? You all tried to do this on the basis of, let's work this out so we won't have to show you who we are. But see, I'm at the point now, right, where they're never going to understand, because for too long, they have benefited from applying that pressure. And to give up their privilege for something that resembles something that's good for all of us, it's not something they can do as a collective. Of course, you're gonna get the individual people, right, that overcome that mode of thinking. You're gonna get that. But collectively, racism and oppression is in the DNA of this country. Before this country was founded in 1776, it had slavery. When the Declaration of Independence was written, I hate to break it to you Negroes, but it wasn't written with us in mind. We were property. When we were amended in the 13th Amendment, you freed us with no citizenship. We were just ex-slaves in a foreign land. The 14th Amendment comes along. You grant us citizenship now. But citizenship without addressing the 9-inch knife that had been staked. Now we're citizens expecting to have the same responsibility of citizens without the same access. We talk about generational wealth. We don't have any generational, I hate to break it to us, we don't have any generational wealth. LeBron James doesn't even have any generational wealth. Wealth does not protect us from racism, because if he did, he wouldn't have had the N-word spray painted on his gated white community lawn. He wouldn't. We wouldn't have these wealthy football and basketball players being pulled over where they don't know they're wealthy basketball players and football players and accosted. Because our blackness enters a room before we do. It enters a situation before we do. And I'm telling you,
I got to back you up. I hope I'm recording. I'm hoping we're recording everything you said, because I like to just say this again.
Yeah, and it will be posted. I mean, well, I will also. I'm gonna get some information from y'all before I leave, and I'll send it to you first. And if anything you don't, let's go. Like I said,
I want to take
Winnie
him to,
Mandela is the truth. Nelson.
I want to take him to Obama.
Yeah, take him to Obama.
Don't get that on camera.
Don't.
No, I'm talking.
Don't take him to
Nah. Now this is horrible, but I did something similar to this.
Nelson is y'all hero. Winnie is mine.
President Obama.
Y'all can have Nelson. I'll take Winnie.
And this is the kind of monkeyizing that they live for. And you've seen these in newspapers. You've seen them in editorial sections, right? Because this is the image that they feel comfortable with.
This is where they trying to mindset and pull down.
Right.
What people already, it's even that person that had their subconscious mind and went and voted.
Right.
That same person turned back around and says, what did I do?
Right.
And so that's because they're seeing this is still out there.
Right.
This is still talking to them. This is still back there in that subconscious. They don't know I had a girl to come.
That's how they do it. That's why they voted for Trump.
I had a girl to come, and she saw one of these little things here, one of the little dolls. And after we had talked, we kind of we wanted to show them how people play against their minds. And 20, I usually say 20 years, you could see something in your living room.
Right.
And it'll make you have a certain stand.
Right.
And I was talking about these little symbols. And so when she got to that little doll, she stood there and had a turning moment, I believe, in her life. And she cried. And I went to her and asked her, what's going on? She said, that was in my house. And I never saw it the way that after you explained to us. I never saw what was in my house. And it tells me what has been going on with my life and how I think about blacks and how I don't want to think about.
Right.
And she said that right.
Now he's talking about the little jockey, the minstrel show jockey, the black and the red you saw. He's talking about things like that. And a lot of people in the South, white people in the South, grew up with those kind of statues or furniture pieces in their home. They were always a caricature of black people. But listen to how I respond.
There was her freedom.
Because this wasn't. This wasn't. Yeah, so this wasn't.
That was her freedom.
That was her freedom because it had been in her life.
Exactly.
And she had internalized it.
Exactly.
And even though she didn't realize it, as she navigated this society, she was still manifesting what she had internalized. And she saw that.
You just said everything that I need to say.
Because it's the status quo. The thing about me that irritates me about it is it took this moment when you have lived your life doing so much damage to my community. It took this moment to get you, because you're still going to be navigating it doing damage. You're just going to be conscious of that damage that you do. Now, I'm not saying that they're not going to have an epiphany and change behavior, but I don't need you just to change behavior, because atonement is not just about you changing. Atonement is about you also establishing that I need to do something to heal this wound I caused. So it's not enough just to get to this point and say, oh man, I was wrong all this time, and keep going. So if you don't have the atonement to go with it, I don't care. That's what I'm saying. I understand. It's a good moral inflection.
Yeah.
But unless you are picking up the opportunity and the responsibility of atonement, then all you are doing is feel good moral correction. Because like I know, you're a pastor. So it's not enough to say, I'm not going to do this anymore. You must take action to make sure not only do you not do it, but you need to right the wrongs that you have done also.
Exactly.
You need to right the wrong. So, what time is it? Because we got a 9-hour drive ahead of us, so I can't.
These are some of the pictures
I'll just get
Mount Bayou.
those too. Get those. Okay. Or you want to get those afterwards?
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
get
want to
everything.
continue following us? Yes. All right, come on.
Some of the pictures of some of the articles that was written.
Direct everybody, right? Yeah, you can get on. They be scared. They like, do I follow him or do I don't follow him?
Actually, it got started based on what was going on this lot right here in Mount Bayou.
Really?
Yeah, you asked.
See, I know all these things, but I didn't know this is where it started.
You had all these black folks getting on the train,
Yeah.
showing up. It was
Quick directed. Nope, it's not gonna happen. Hold on, let me say something right quick. The doll statues, and because there were dolls over there too, because they used the statues of the jockey in there. They had those like the garden gnomes. There used to be those also, but there were dolls also that white families in the South would have in their home, like on a display shelf. And these were caricature dolls also, right? These were the dolls. So it was a kind of a mixing statues and dolls, but it was the representation that was in the home of black people for them. They associate, because these mammy dolls and these statues of dolls, they gave people a sense, white people, a sense of complacency with black people in the space, but no sense of respect. They were literally property. It was like, you're looking at this is my property, and I put in place my property anywhere I want to, and I treat it the same also. But hold on, we're about over, and I'll get to some more questions.
T.R.M. Howard, um, and they didn't know what black people were doing, so they had to create this white citizens council,
Right.
To figure out. Let's go over here and let's figure out how we're gonna infiltrate these black people,
Right.
and pay it and spend state tax money,
Right.
to do it.
To do it.
And
It's like we were paying for the rope to lynch ourselves with. They were spending our money to investigate us.
Exactly,
Right.
to investigate us. So, so all of these different articles, different things that we got, we're gonna redo all of this.
Okay.
But and we really want to do it like in a really good museum setting thing,
Okay.
like they did. Did he tell you about the other room? The Till movie did.
Yeah. Yeah, the sets.
did you
Y'all
go
got
over
the
that?
sets. Not yet.
Okay, they did us one. We want to do the same thing in here for Mount Bayou.
Okay.
For Mount Bayou stuff, we got a whole lot of stuff that's not even.
Let me ask you something. Funding. How do you all do funding? Because that's one of the things I've always. That's one.
He
thing
pulled
about
money out of his
last time
pocket.
I was livid in Selma.
See this right here?
Uh-huh.
They gave us this bill. It just started raining.
So I will be doing a fundraiser for this. I know.
Thursday and Friday, we're watching it.
If you see the roof,
At least $40,000 to do the roof. So that's what we're looking for now. And the guy just sent me $5,000 from Florida. That, but we got to redo that roof so that we can preserve all this stuff.
Yeah, I
So-
was looking at that when I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah. This just happened.
Okay.
We don't know. I think it may be like one of those tornadoes coming through. And,
Hold on a minute. Nick.
Insurance.
That's my guy. Are y'all talking about the roof?
No, what?
He says you see the rain spot.
Yeah.
We need to talk about.
yeah, and no rain. He came over to meet me.
He's,
His brother called him
he's a
over.
Missionary. He just builds all my dreams.
Let me
Yeah, I
tell
got
you- let me
Nick
tell you
with
what
me.
we are doing. July 12th.
Okay.
My great grandmother in 1912, I believe, said that we're gonna celebrate the founding of Mount Bayou every year. So July 12th every year. Since she
So this is my next trip.
of the Renovated Society then,
Okay.
and
Well, how I'ma make it?
We celebrate, but this year the museum is going to be celebrating around it. So we pulling in YouTubers.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
pulling in all these other folks, and we want to say to them, y'all come in and help us celebrate
Okay.
that.
June the 12th?
Well, it's coming up.
July
I mean,
12th.
July
12th. And
No,
then
the
July
date-
10th, 11th, and 12th. But 12th is the actual day, Founder's Day.
Right.
Okay.
And then on the 13th, I think we'll do some, maybe do something at
Yeah,
church.
but it's 10th, 11th, and 12th.
10th, 11th, or 12th.
Yeah.
July.
Right. I don't
And
know.
so Roland, what's the other guy?
Roland Martin.
Anthony Brockman.
No, Black Round Table.
Derek, Greg Carr.
Derek
Great
Great
car.
car.
Yeah, we're
Greg-
trying to get Greg
Dr.
Carr.
Carr.
Yeah, cause he interviewed us, but now he said he wants to come, so we have to straighten that out. To get him here, we want to get YouTubers here.
Okay.
We want to get people that we have a big media day
Okay.
and talk about, cause we can do this now.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can do this.
Definitely.
And
give me the information. I'll write it down. And then I'll give you my email address so you can send me anything you all put out.
definitely.
Yeah,
That way.
'cause we're organizing it now. We're in the
Yeah,
midst of
right.
organizing it, so we don't have all the pieces
Right.
together
So when you
yet,
get the
but-
piece together and what you want, let me know.
And we would love, absolutely love to have you and your audience
Yeah.
here.
Good.
And meet with other people and
Yeah.
We got a girl that came here named Talia, and she does all that stuff. I said, I don't even understand all
social
of it.
media.
She does all social media. He just sends us stuff, and she puts it out there. We have not been able to pay her, and
Right.
she is absolutely worthy to be paid. I've sent her, some money.
Yeah, I know
myself,
you. I know you have.
But
Just like my grandma.
but my point.
Just like you be like, hey, you guys.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Right.
gotta do that.
We're those type of black men.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And it's almost those same words.
My
Right,
granddaddy-
right, always.
This
They'll
is-
say, no, we don't need.
This is what my granddad. This is his a legacy.
Right.
We always have to finance our own revolution.
They when the people around here when they couldn't get education,
Right.
he go over and look, come here.
Yeah.
You go to college, and
Right.
come back and see me.
Right.
Every time you come back and see me, I'm gonna give you,
Right.
And there are people that have lived and died that says my granddaddy sent them to college.
Yeah.
But see, he had the cotton gin.
Yeah, he's
He
the one
don't
that
want
had
the
it.
cotton gin.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
Listen to
Yeah,
this.
so that was part of his ability to be
Right.
able
And
to.
because we're supposed to give back when we get the.
Exactly.
And the
then
black codes are real.
And see, so his son Ward
Mm-hmm.
ended up taking his gas station that he had, and he did the same thing.
Yeah.
He did the same thing. We thought
That's
we
what
were
I
stealing.
think.
We thought we were stealing from him, but he knew we were taking from him.
Yeah. Because it is our responsibility to pass it on.
Yeah.
And that's what so much, and I get on it all the time when I'm alive, and I tell them, I say, you bourgeoisie Negroes kill me because you act like no one helped you get there. You act like no one helped you get there. I'm not allowed to carry cash. They will tell you, I'm not allowed to carry cash.
Who would tell me that?
No, all
Oh, these
everybody
guys
with
right
me,
here.
you're right.
Yeah.
I am not allowed
Don't
to carry
give me- yeah,
cash
'cause you could-
because I'm going to give
You
it
gonna
out.
pass it out.
They tell me. It's like, yeah, tell
I
they
hear
like,
you.
I was like,
Anybody who knows me, ask them. Ask them. When I see somebody, that's why I can't carry cash.
Say, oh, well, we knew
But
that.
I gotta go because we got a long drive ahead of us. And
Where y'all gotta go?
we're going to Missouri, then I'm going to Kansas. So
Okay.
I was like,
Well, what else you want from me? Because I talked to you. You could talk, and I could talk. What else you want
No,
from us?
I need you to get some pictures of the. I need some of the whole place.
And then you want to go to the other side.
And then I want to go to the
down
other side.
hall.
Right.
Yeah. So
Let him do a walkthrough.
All right. So that's the end of the first part. Yeah, of course, that's why I don't get home on time. Yeah, it's just not in me. This is why. Hold on for just a moment, y'all. GCPR. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Hope you all enjoyed the conversation. That was TNathan in Mound Bayou, Mississippi, the oldest black town established there in 1887, self-sufficient. And that was me talking to the former mayor of the town and to his brother, the curator of the museum. And that's the first part of our conversation. And I will be posting it up on TikTok for you all. I will be posting it on YouTube in its entirety. And then we have more from the other side also. Because no matter how much I say, I don't drive. So when I was talking about we got to get on the road, it's like it doesn't mean it. So peace out, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. All right, I got them clear. Now back to you all. Yes. So that's the first half of the conversation, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all got what I was putting out from it and why we were having it, because it's a conversation that needs to be had, and it's the difference between activism and revolutionism. It's the difference between opposition and resistance. And really, I don't really have time for opposition anymore. I don't. I'm tired of talking to people who are just talking about opposition. We have got to move into the territory of resistance, or we die. That's it. That's what I realized this week, in the last week that I was in Selma, and I say talking to older people that have been in this fight since before I was born to realize that they're looking at me now. They're looking at me talking about what do we need to do? We will follow you. And I don't even get into know that people under my age that talk about their activists, they're not committed like that. They're not. They're like, let us get your information. And don't get me wrong, I met a lot of people there. Like I was telling Nick, I didn't realize so many people followed me in the South. But I met a lot of people there that were saying, yes, what's up? What do we need to do? And you would not know those people existed on social media when you just see, because all you see is them talking about laying down and waiting and to the next leg. No, there are things that are going wrong today that need to be addressed today. And in a way that is meaningful. That's the only difference. Meaningful ways. And if it's not, it's like when Donald Trump said he was cutting off funding to DC if they didn't remove the Black Lives Matter murals in the streets. And I thought about the entire time for the years we were fighting to have the flag, Mississippi changed to remove the Confederate battle emblem. At no time did anybody who was in office in the presidency threaten to cut off any Mississippi funding to help us get that goal accomplished. And that's what I say, we're fighting the same battles the same way and losing. And it's our fault. It's you all's fault. Yeah, it's our fault. Because we continue to wait for the very people who are responsible for the oppression to have a change of heart. Yeah, no, no. You all are sitting back. Like, I wish somebody could explain me, how does sitting back doing nothing work? Yeah, I don't care what, and don't give me, well, they didn't help us and we're not helping them. Did I miss something that happened on November the 5th? Did we stop becoming the object also? Did we stop becoming oppressed on November the 5th? Did I miss that? Somebody tell me. I thought we were fighting against oppression. I thought that's what I committed to. And that means, is oppression still going on? Is oppression ended for black people? Is that what it is? Oppression ended for black people on November the 5th just because of an election loss. Did I miss that change? Because we've been, am I not supposed to get out and protest when an unarmed black man is murdered? Y'all know I don't do colloquialisms when on my own channel. Murdered at the hands of police officers, like Jimmy Lee Jackson was in February of 1965, that became the inspiration for Bloody Sunday. So we're just going to sit back in the face of that, right? You understand? There is a young man that was protesting at Columbia University last spring when I was protesting also at different university. Was protesting at Columbia University. And he is a green card holder, married to an American. He has a child on the way. Um, he's in jail right now in Louisiana. He was kidnapped from his home in New York and taken to to Louisiana. And the justification they're saying is because he is a. They said at first they thought he was a Visa card holder. He actually has a green card, and he's still in jail. People thought, oh, he'll get out of jail as soon as they figure it out. No, he's still in jail. He's still waiting for a judge to hear his case that he shouldn't be in jail. The Trump administration, this was because he broke a law. This was because he exercised the right that all Americans are supposed to have and all people that protest are supposed to have. So if we sit silently by while this administration tests the limits of its authority by putting Khalil in jail for protesting and and he wasn't even protesting to be pro Hamas. He was protesting to talk about Israel's um, activities in Gaza. Yeah, I just got a warning. I knew it was coming. I don't care. Um, just got a community, just got a appeal warning. But fuck it. But they're testing the waters, and people saying, "Well, that's not our fight." How is it not our fight? Because where do all these fights end up? Where do all these attack? See, this administration is just better at attacking the peripheral of blackness before they go right for blackness. You all talking about it's not our fight as they cut government jobs. Who do you think is the largest employer of black people in this country? Yeah, Gracie, I wish I could find solace in just knowing it's illegal. We know it's illegal. We know it's illegal, but that doesn't stop it from happening. Lynching black folks was illegal, but there are 4,334 of them that were lynched between 1882, I apologize, 1882 and 1968. That was illegal. It's illegal to shoot unarmed black men and women in cold blood. That's illegal. It's illegal. It's not enough to just call it illegal. We can do that's called opposition. We can sit back and call it illegal all day. But what are we doing in the face of that illegality? That is the difference between opposition and resistance. But the TikTok mic from the shop is a I have them. I have mics that go on the phone. Yeah, I'll just stop and talk about it for a minute. I have that. I have those, and as a matter of fact, if you watch the video with Maxine Waters, I have it on and using it. But anyway, but at the end of the day, opposition and resistance are two different things. And we need to start becoming resistance because it doesn't take rocket scientists to know that Donald Trump is pushing the limits of his power and also trying to obtain more power in the process. So it's like we look at something and we say, oh, that's wrong. But in essence, it is what it is. We knew it was wrong. Okay, okay, Petra. I don't know. Is it this account or is the other account? I don't know. I have to do. I'll do it after this show. Um, just reminding. First, they came for the mic, right, and we can go all through that. What did you get a TikTok on? I said it was um behavior, hateful behavior. Okay, I will make that adjustment accordingly. Um, I don't know why. 16. 16 carriages. Oh, yeah, it always happens. I don't care. I just sit it. It's not like I sit it out. I do this for the people I reach. I don't really expect to reach people organically in that way. That's why I started talking about the TikTok shop because it's supposed to help. So that's why I know. That's why I started talking about it with you, but it doesn't help. That doesn't help me. It doesn't help me. I got what you was doing. I was like, thought I could, like, we could talk about it for a minute, but you know me. I get it. I get what you were doing. And you like, I didn't start cussing, so you knew when I got up to get it, I was trying to put it on camera even, but it doesn't work for me because number one, I don't have the long term abilities to talk about the TikTok shop. I don't. Oh no, I was getting them because that you had mentioned them before, and I put them out to show you that I had them. and they work phenomenally. They work phenomenally. Like I say, when you see me interviewing people on the street or in there, I do. They work phenomenally. Nah. You know I cuss, Rain. You know if I didn't cuss and I got up, I was up to something. I was up to something. I was like, okay, maybe. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We have to become resistance or die. And that's why I tell white liberals that I don't follow you all anymore. Y'all have to follow us. That's why I said, because white liberals are only resistant until the point where they get what they need or they get a certain point of security. And then it's always they turn to us and tell them, we're still here with you, but you need to be patient as we build our power so we can help. And it's never worked. It's never worked on waiting for white liberals to build their power to fulfill the promises they have made to marginalized groups of people. It never works. So from now on, we're not doing it that way. There's no time to wait and see. We're not right. We're not doing it that way. Yep. I'm tired of white liberals paying lip service to the strives that we need to make collectively by telling us to be patient. How long do we wait? Do we wait my grandfather's time, my grandmother's time? Do we? How long are we waiting? Because we've been waiting for years, decades, centuries even. But that's always what happened. And I'll tell you this: going back, let's go back to the Biden presidency, right? And you all remember because I talked about what happened when he came through South Carolina and Representative Clyburn, who he was also there. But I digress. Representative Clyburn and how they propelled Joe Biden to the presidency, and then the issues that we needed addressing, we had to wait. The issues that we needed codified into law, we had to get behind an infrastructure bill. We got a flurry of things during the last 30 days of your presidency. Do you understand how mad I was to see you exercise presidential power in a way that you should have exercised it on the first day in office? Because you could have done that then. So, yes, understand that's how I feel. And I, like I say, I'm not one of those people who will tell you something and not be able to prove what I'm telling you. Does anybody else realize how the room gets quiet when Uncle T enters? Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's because we need to do this. We need to fight all the way through. We need to, because if we're not, then we are getting the same disservice that we have gotten. Like I say, to listen to those foot soldiers that were there in 1965, 2 years before I was born, get it. They get it. And to reinforce they get it to me. I smell ozone before he enters. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. But we need to. That's brimstone. It's brimstone you're smelling, not ozone. But yeah. Either we do or we die. Like I say, white liberals are welcome, but you all are not welcome to lead anymore. Not for me and my circle. You're welcome. If you want to use your white privilege to tear down the system and build something that works for all of us, you're more than welcome. But if you're only coming over here because you need to lead us, I'm gonna ask you to go find somebody else. And remember, this is not the airport. You don't have to announce your departure because if we're going to see it through, or we're going to burn it down. It's not the option. I'm not just going to see it through for me. I'm seeing it through for I'm making sure we win all the way through. Everything I do will be a winning for my community, the LGBTQ community, the if you're a marginalized community and you believe in liberation and you want to fight, that's what we're here for, and we're not going to do it the way white liberals have done it for the last 400 years. Nope, not happening. I mean, you understand when people talk about abolitionists and they talk about the Quakers and they talk about these religious sects and how they helped with the Underground Railroad. Do you understand abolitionists were of the mind? That's how I tell people don't understand history. Most abolitionists did not agree with slavery, but they were not in favor of breaking the law either. So all this talk about they were on the Underground Railroad, no, they wasn't. Most of them wasn't. They were in favor of ending slavery. They thought it was morally corrupt and bankrupt, but they were not of the mindset of actively opposing the law. They were about changing the law. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Brimstone is after you leave because you raise hell. I'm not fighting, but I got a first aid kit. We need doctors. I had no idea you had a TikTok. You didn't? Why do I know that name? Design by Red Shop. I've seen you some. I've seen that name somewhere. I mean, I've design. Yeah, yeah, I know the name from somewhere. Um, or he ate some bad eggs. I don't eat eggs. I don't like boiled eggs. I'll eat scrambled every now and then, but they gotta be hard scrambled. I don't like runny yolks. I don't know none of that. Yeah, there's so many ways I won't eat eggs. I'll eat an omelet, but it's the same thing. Um, it has to be no runny stuff in it. I don't do runny stuff. I was in the South and the sky. They had okra, and they were. I said I don't eat okra. I don't eat okra. There's no way you can cook okra to make me eat it. If you try to slip in something and feed it to me, I'm throwing it up on you. I've been a fighter all my life. Don't know how to be any other way. I still understand that, Steve. But you remember what I taught? The difference is I offer. I want fighters that are willing to follow a strategy, and we're gonna have a tactical means that is unified. That's it. We can win the fight, but the problem is we are taught that we don't need leadership. You know, we are taught that in the movement we don't need leadership, but every revolution has always been won by the ones who had the most and the best revolution. No, man, King, you late. You late, late. You super late. I know you're probably just getting off. Grace here, I'm gonna let you in the revolution anyway, even though you cause you eat okra. I'm not gonna hold that against you. Yeah, they snitched me out about your surgery since you want to come in late, but I don't know why I give y'all my number. Olivia, you're gonna sit this one out. I don't even know why I give y'all my number. I gotta find out things from people that are not even family. I gotta find out in a live. I feel so in the loop. Call me uncle, but they don't even have. I'm in. I'm going in today, unc. I don't care. Well, I didn't know. Yeah, we had bad. And even though I had lousy reception in Selma, when I got back to the Airbnb, all messages came through. I like fried okra dipped in ranch. I don't be sorry. You lucky you had surgery. I get on you. I'm gonna get on you when you recover, right? When you're well enough to handle it. I'm not gonna, but I'll get you later. You're intrigued. You could just text me. Let me know that you were either going in or coming out. New to your life. What do you, B? I have a question. When you say you're intrigued, what does that mean? I just be curious. People say things like "I'm interested" is interesting. What does intrigued mean in terms of my life of what you're hearing? What are you intrigued about? He was under drug influence. He couldn't text. He was not under drug influence until after he was under drug influence. He knew he was going into surgery. He knew when. Go get some rest, Mad King. Get some rest. How you feeling? What's up, Goddess? Why are you late tonight? Goddess, Goddess late too. Mad King, rest up. Cause yeah, when you get healed, I'm gonna get on your ass. Just I'll let you know. Don't process it right now. Just know. All right. All right, y'all. Rain wanted me to play Women of the Movement, so we will get to that. We will get to the Mamie Till story. Thank you. Good night, AV. We will get to the Mamie Till story, Women of the Movement, and it's 6 parts. I think I'll try to do 2 parts a night. No, not tonight, Rain. Not tonight. Um, later, maybe we'll do it this weekend. We will definitely get to it. I don't want to spread it out over weeks. I just want to do it like in 2 or 3 days, 2 days. I could just show it on TikTok for those who want to see it, but make sure. All right. Yeah. On here at Twitch, we'll do it on Twitch. That way you can stream it to y'all's television if you want to. Y'all can stream it. I like to do things on TikTok just to piss them off. Might do both. I don't know. We'll definitely have it where you can watch it. And do you want it with commentary or without? That's what I need to know. Do you want it with commentary, historical commentary that maybe, or do you want to just watch it without my commentary? You know, if it's in bootleg movie theater 3000 with TNathan, you get my commentary. Y'all get my commentary. Yeah, you're probably gonna get my commentary anyway. I am still live. What time are you going to bed? Question mark. I'm tapped out. I'm up. I'm up to date on Daredevil and Reacher. Gotta watch Paradise though. I can't believe you haven't watched Paradise. There's a new episode of Daredevil out that I'm going to watch, and I'll probably do that. I'll do that tonight. Tonight, today. I'll have to be the shelter until next week after the 15th. So I got 3 days. I'm gonna be mad. Oh, I don't know. I'm not watching it then. I don't want to be mad tonight. Y'all know that my brother, Bobby, is in Daredevil, so he's in Daredevil. So I gotta watch. He's one of the Punishers. He's one of the Punishers in the corrupt police force that is in Daredevil. So I gotta watch it just to watch him in there. But yeah, I might I might show it. Trust me, watch it in a good mood. Watch it in a good mood. You want me to get mad in a good mood? All right. I might need family to watch it with me there because I'm gonna cuss. All right. I'm out of here, y'all. And I'll catch you all later. I'll catch you all later. Peace. Be safe. And yeah, continue not to call me when things go on in the family.